welcome to a very special episode of Mage Hand High Five. I am not your GM today, but I will be introducing our players, including our guest GM, ranked by who is the silliest little goose in the pond.
Ooh.
And listen, we're going to go least to most, but just know that I know that all of you are very silly little geese. Starting with our good friend, Casey Pappas.
Oh, least silly goose-like.
Everyone's a silly goose.
It happens.
Robin Langenhop.
You know, I was hoping to be ranked as high as possible, but I'll accept this. We are all in Silly Goose territory
Yeah,
here.
you can take the middle. Max Weinberg is not with us today, but our lovely guest GM, the silliest goose in the pond himself, Elliot Davis.
Yeah, I'm the silliest goose.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Elliot, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Elliot is an incredible game designer. He is a podcaster and podcast producer on My First Dungeon and Talk of the Table with Many-Sided Media. Elliot, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be playing today?
Yeah, so we're going to be playing a game called Welcome to the Silly Goose Convention.
Yeah.
And that is as silly as it sounds. And get ready, because we're going to be saying the word silly a whole lot today. So Welcome to the Silly Goose Convention is a hack of my game, Something is Wrong with the Chickens. So it is a powered by poultry game, which is what all hacks of Something is Wrong with Chickens are called. It is a rules light D6 powered system of the tradition of games like Honey Heist and Lasers and Feelings, where you have two stats. It's very rules light. It's very interpretive, very player forward, and we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be very silly. The premise is that you are silly geese attending the Silly Goose Convention, and the convention's been double booked with a much more boring and serious convention that you need to destroy for the sake of silliness.
Yeah, let's fuck it up. Amazing.
Cannot wait.
Elliot is also running a Kickstarter right now for his new game, Rom-Com Drama Bomb, that started on February 14th and is going through February 28th. That is a lot of fun. We're going to link the Kickstarter in the description of this episode. We'll also talk a little bit more about it at the end of this episode. But in the meantime, welcome to the Silly Goose Convention. Elliot, why don't you tell us a little bit about how we play? We're going to jump into character creation, rules, all of that, so everyone can follow along.
Great.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, what is this game?
What is this game?
How do we goose?
The base system is that anytime in play that you want to do something that the outcome is uncertain, you know, in a typical RPG setting, that's how we talk about just whenever you might roll for something, you just roll 3 6-sided dice, or 4 if you're using a special aspect of your character, which we'll get into. And success is always a mix of goose results and silly results. A goose result on the die is 1, 2, or 3. A silly result on the die is 4, 5, or 6. Any combination of those is a success because you are using both your silly nature and your goose nature, and that is how you succeed. If you roll all goose results, you get a goose failure, and one of your silly tools breaks and is lost for the game. If you have no remaining silly tools and your tool breaks, then you become too boring and you have to join the boring convention. You're no longer welcome at the Silly Goose Convention.
Oh, no.
no.
I know, it's tragic.
That cannot happen, y'all. We have to avoid this at all costs.
On the other side, if all 3 of your dice land on a silly result, so all 4s, 5s, and 6s, that action fails, but you get to pick up a new silly tool from the convention floor. And this brings you over to a 3d6 roll table where you roll for the company that makes your silly tool, a descriptor for that tool, and what the tool makes. You combine those into something suitably silly, and then this is part of your silly arsenal for the rest of the game to use against the boring convention. If you have 6 silly tools and you roll a silly failure, you become just too darn silly to be hanging out with the rest of the geese, and you are elevated to the silliest goose, all expenses paid upgrade and taken away as a VIP of the convention. You no longer hang out with the normal convention goers. So those are the 2 ways that you can leave the game. You either become way too boring or way too silly.
So you kind of want to stay in the middle a little bit, or just get
kinda
the
wanna
all
stay in the
expenses
middle.
paid upgrade.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Ascend to the silly rafters.
Like we definitely can't be too boring.
So the first thing we need to do is have everybody roll for their goose type, which I understand you guys have done in advance. But I'll give a quick overview that the goose type gives you sort of the kind of goose you are, and it also gives your role at the convention. And so the geese types we have as options are Canada goose, a gosling, a cackling goose, a barnacle goose, a swan goose, or just a swan, and an untitled goose. I mentioned earlier that you can roll 4d6 if you use an aspect of your character. If you're using your con roll in what you're doing, something related to your con roll, you can roll 4 dice and drop one of your choice. So that's sort of the equivalent to like an advantage in this game.
Perfect.
Cool.
Great. Sounds fun.
Do you guys want to go around and tell me what your geese types are? And if you've got a name and pronouns for them, if you could tell me those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I am a cackling goose. I'm a guest honker, and my goose, since he's a guest, he's sort of an academic goose. His name is TK Gander.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit of a silly Billy. He's joining as a guest, speaking on behalf of puns. I believe.
Great.
The puns lecture series, of course. Yeah. Robin, how about you?
Yeah, I'm a swan, which I am very excited about. My name is Dame Deliah Downeybottom.
Of course.
She, her pronouns. She is a VIG, very important goose, and she is a former ballerina. The show Swan Lake is actually named after her. Don't worry about the timelines, it all makes sense. And she's here to get back in touch with her silly roots.
Incredible. And last but certainly not least, Rowan.
Hello. I'm playing an untitled goose. The role at the con is that I did not pay to get in. My name is Brian Gosling. He, him pronouns. And that may or may not actually be his name. Not sure. It might be an alias because I was banned from last year's convention. The reason that I did not pay to get in is that I am not allowed back.
May I ask what you did to get banned?
Some political bullshit. Apparently you're not allowed to mix bleach and cat litter.
Oh my god.
It makes mustard gas. So I got banned for bringing weapons to the last Silly Goose Convention, and I have a little bit of a vendetta against the goose convention bureaucracy of this year.
Very good, very good. So one thing that I always like to ask when running a game like this is, how do the three of you know each other?
Okay, I have thoughts on this.
Yeah, hit us with it.
Oh.
So I think that that TK and Dame Delia may have had a dalliance in the past, but Dame Delia is very embarrassed about it, but also kind of into it and doesn't really know what to do about the situation.
Hey, they still goose each other from time to time.
We're different species. Don't worry about it.
That's so good. I think y'all might have seen Brian get like forcibly removed from last year's conventions, and maybe we're like the only two people who didn't narc on him.
Yeah, you guys are both kind of well-to-do types. Maybe you respect the rebel spirit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Reminds me of my younger days.
Yeah.
Oh, birds of a feather.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
Excuse me, birth of a feather.
Very, very good. So we've got our three geese. I would love to know what each of you rolled for your first tool, because you start the game with one silly tool in your arsenal. And if you have not yet rolled, roll for that now.
My first roll was a 6, which means that I got this from the Gander company. I'm very popular on Gander. It is jerry-rigged and comes with a roll of duct tape and is used for silly disguises. I think I just have a
excellent.
loose bag of, like, Groucho Marx level disguises, and I just tape them to my body.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's like all like paper doll cutouts that you just put on yourself in real life.
Exactly.
And do you have a silly name for your tool?
It's called Meryl Streep's Honk of a Different Color. Meryl Streep makes a line of disguises for geese. Don't worry about
Of
it.
course she does. Why wouldn't she?
That's good. That's very good.
For Brian, I have a wonderful little item manufactured by Loose on the Goose. It is loud in a surprising way, and it makes silly noises.
Oh, even better.
Which was a fortuitous roll. And I'm calling it the Loose on the Goose Bang Bang Bow Boy.
Hell yes.
And it's a jaunty little red bow tie, and when you kind of straighten it, it makes an explosion sound.
Yeah, it
It's
does,
so
doesn't
loud.
it?
Yeah.
Very good. And Casey.
I rolled a 1, a 6, and a 5. So mine is produced by the company Honks R Us. Very reputable. And it is also loud in a surprising way. And my tool makes silly art. So sort of how I see it is it's like one of those, if you've ever, it's almost like a slingshot, like you pull back the end and when you release it, it goes boom. It makes a loud noise. And then it just like splatters the wall with like paint in a very like modern art. It's interpretive.
Very good. Very, very good.
I want to call this something like the foul splort.
The foul
that's good.
splort. I like it.
It's just sticking out to me.
Yeah. It's modern art. You can call it whatever you want.
So we've got our geese. We've got their names. We've got their first silly tool. What I need to now do is roll on the no prep GM tables to see where this little shindig is going down. So the first roll is for where the convention is being held.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The convention is being held in the pond. In the local pond.
Nice.
Yes.
Probably the least silly answer on this list, but that's all good. We trust the dice. We go with the dice.
You got to play something straight.
There is some rolls for attendees that I'm going to do in secret.
Better not be fucking Judi Dench. More like Judy Wench.
Oh, that was a good one.
And then I am going to roll on one more table, which is what the latest in boring research is that they're going to use against you. And that is also going to be secret for now.
The latest in boring research is great.
Yeah.
Peek behind the screen for our listeners. We haven't even seen what the GM
No, they
stuff
haven't seen
looks
the
like.
GM
We've
rolls.
only seen the character builder, so we're completely in the dark on this.
Yeah,
gonna be
we're little
This is
lost
so fun.
geese.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right. Does anybody need to use the restroom, grab a sip of water, take a little breather, scream, cry, or otherwise get anything out before we begin?
I'll scream real quick.
No, I cried this morning.
Yeah, real quick scream.
No, I cried this
I'll be
morning.
doing all
Casey.
those things on mic over the course of the session.
Yeah, I'll scream and
Yes,
cry
all
on
of them.
session. I'm not mad
Yeah.
about it. That's okay. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't
Save
be
them
the
for
last.
the show.
Save the pee breaks for the show.
I'll piss
Bring
on air.
your
Let's
mic
go.
into the bathroom, cowards.
We promised you an immersive audio experience, and by God, we'll deliver.
Oh no.
The sound
This is
design of this
good.
episode was wild.
The tone is right where we want it. So, welcome to the Silly Goose Convention 2024. Sorry, I was just not ready. I was not ready. This year, of course, the convention is being held at the local pond in Central Park, let's say. You know the one.
Oh.
I think that pond has a more specific name, but we're going to call it that pond.
You know the pond.
Yeah, you know the pond. This year's convention is being held at the pond. Of course, it's winter, so the pond is frozen over. So we're having it right on the pond. We're having the convention on the pond.
Ooh.
And for the sake of scale, the convention starts at the pond and sort of, we'll say, sprawls out around the area of the park.
Right.
Unfortunately, the convention was double booked by a new advancements in the boring and the serious, a 4-day series of lectures and demonstrations. Of course, the most boring and most serious convention in all of America, in all of the world, has been double booked with the Silly Goose Convention.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
Terrible.
It's unfortunate. You guys.
Why did you think a fucking pond was a good venue for that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's really the problem is the convention organizers. It's they their paperwork's not up to order. They're not using computers to book everything.
They've got a bunch of unpaid interns.
Interns. We open on our 3 silly geese in line to pick up their badges. Well, 2 of them are in line to pick up their badges.
Yeah.
You guys are in a long line of various and sundry geese, all decked out in their Sunday's silliest, getting ready to head into the convention and check out what the silly vendors have to offer this year. Go to some silly lectures, eat some silly food, maybe have a silly drink or 2. You guys are in line when Silly Billy, the goose organizer of the convention, comes running out and is yelling. He's all in a frazzle and he says, "It's horrible! They double booked us with the boring and serious convention. We gotta do something."
This convention is for the birds. I mean, literally, it's for us. What are they doing here?
I know, that's what I said.
You seem a little down about it. Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
I'm not going to be able to handle this.
I spend all year working on this convention, and
there.
Oh no, I believe he's frozen solid. Someone get the rotisserie.
Where's our untitled goose, Brian Gosling?
Brian has had a very productive morning, tripping people on e-scooters on the paths around. just like flying out in the middle and tripping people on e-scooters. I think he knocked the head off the Bethesda fountain.
Yeah.
No.
It's been a day, but I have snuck up and am currently right behind Silly Billy.
You see Silly Billy in front of you is just absolutely unloading tears onto TK and starts blowing his nose in your shoulder, a big like. Can you describe for me what TK looks like?
Sure. TK is just he's a little scatterbrained academic. He has a checkered blazer jacket, sort of tweed with elbow patches, a little bow tie, spectacles at the end of his beak, and hair that just sort of shoots straight out to the sides.
Hair over his feathers, just to be clear. That's not a criticism, that's a question.
Oh no, hair and feathers.
Great.
Yeah, so Silly Billy's just blowing his nose right into the tweed.
Very good.
And TK's just not even minding it. He's just like, there. This was the work of some foul play.
Yeah, what does Untitled do?
Brian sneaks up.
Sorry, Brian. I keep wanting to call you Untitled. Brian's
That's
your
okay.
name.
Brian is a man with no name. Brian is not his real name. I'm just using Brian for now. Brian sees Silly Billy, who was part of the force that kicked him out last year, and as one of the organizers of this convention, and walks up, kind of totters to be right behind him, and then just adjusts his little bow tie and makes the loudest banging explosion sound out of his bow tie, and then runs away.
Why don't you give me our first roll of the game?
All right.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna run and hide behind a little tree.
Get it, Brian. Fight the power.
All right. That is a 4, a 4, and a 1. So I believe that is a success.
Mixed result is a success. So you wiggle your little bow tie and the loudest explosion sound that anyone's heard come from a bow tie goes off, and Silly Billy goes from crying to whoa, and fully leaps into Dame Delia's arms, very Scooby and Shaggy style. The rest of the silly geese don't seem to care that much. He just got spooked. Explosions are par for the course for the Silly Goose Convention, but you did get Silly Billy.
And I think Brian starts to run away. and then it's just like, and then like kind of like uses the distraction to sidle up to TK and go, "That's a good box of books you got there."
Oh, thank you.
Okay, 1 second. And then I rip open the tape, take the books out, pile them on the floor, and hop in the box.
Okay.
Don't speak of this. And then I close the lid of the box over myself.
Within the box, what does Brian look like?
Brian has a very long beak, which gives him sort of a little bit of this kind of way of speaking. He is an all-white, very like fluffy, honestly beautiful little goose with a jaunty little red bow tie. He just sort of tucked into his feathers. He has various like weaponry, like a little butter knife and like an improvised bomb and just some gasoline, just like what have you, matches. Just kind of loosely tucked in the plumage.
Amazing.
But he's a very fluffy goose.
Dame Delia, you have this just blubbering mess of a man now shaking in fear from the explosion in your arms, and he looks at you and he goes, "Well, hiya, Dame."
Oh, Billy, come on. Now, I know we're all supposed to be ridiculous, but this crying is just getting ridiculous.
You're right. I know you're right. Okay.
This is not a place for tears, it's a place for vengeance.
Yeah. Vengeance. That's it.
Yeah, vengeance from inside the box.
Is that you,
was
Brian
that?
Gosling?
No.
Sorry, I'm practicing my ventriloquism.
Well, if you see Brian Gosling, I know he was banned last year, but we could really use his particular brand of trouble to go after this boring convention.
Oh, too bad we don't know where he is and won't be able to use that.
So his talents would be appreciated.
You just see a little head pop out of the box.
Are you trying to stay hidden, or do you want him to see you?
I think I let him see just my eyes.
What do you have there, TK?
A box.
And what's in the box? Something silly?
Oh, what's in the box? Come on, DK, what's in the box?
The silliest. I knock on the box as if to be like, shall we?
A butter knife comes out at you.
Just launching into the air.
A butter knife like pops through the tape in the box, slashes down the middle, and then I just like fully pop like head and neck up and say, "You said my services could be of use."
Well, yes, Brian, while you do make me deeply uncomfortable, I believe that you might be of some help to banish the boring and the serious from this year's convention.
I see how it is, Bill.
Brian, I don't mean to alarm you. There are accountants over there.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Accountants.
Brian looks genuinely afraid.
That's what I said.
Accountants?
Dastardly. And paperwork.
Oh my, not paperwork. Okay, look, I think it's time to put petty vengeance aside. We could work something out. If I could help fix this.
How about we just redirect the petty vengeance at the humans?
Yeah. I think now is the
Petty
time.
vengeance sounds wonderful to me.
I think it's the time for petty vengeance, but I think we're going to need to do it. I think we're going to have to band together on this one.
Ooh, actually, can we make it pretty vengeance? Just add a little R in there.
It could be pretty, as long as it's also silly.
Bill, get me into this convention and then tell me who I have to kill.
Kill!
That escalated quickly.
Oh gosh. Well, let me get you that badge and then clean my wings of this whole situation.
You won't have to worry about these goddamn accountants again. I just had like 3 mimosas at Hooters with the owls.
Oh, not the owls. You're a hardcore son of a bitch, Brian.
Sorry, who?
That's the spirit, TK. And he leads you to the front of the line, cutting past a bunch of silly geese who are like, "Hey, come on, wait your turn." Gets you to the front, gets you to your badges. Delia, you get the VIG badge. Brian, you get a security badge.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Wow.
Ooh.
This is like when you give the worst person you've ever met like something to be on a petty power trip about.
Uh-huh. That was the intention.
Just wears it proudly.
Yeah. And Silly Billy says, "Well, I have much to do. We have to fit the whole convention in half the space unless we can get rid of these serious, boring folks. I'll see you later. Have fun. Be silly.
Leave it to us. You'll have no egrets.
Come now, Billy. I invented the language of silly.
Oh, Delia. I'm going to go now. He walks off with a very cartoonish fluster on his face. Where do you guys want to head? Do you want to head to the convention floor? What's kind of your plans? You guys are in the line. You're sort of outside of the main pond convention floor that they've created. It's winter, but it's an outdoor convention, so it's cold.
I've got a little scarf wrapped all the way up my neck.
Yeah. Very good.
Delia looks like she is wearing a full peacock, as though she had just skinned a peacock and is wearing it as a dress.
Oh,
has
no.
Opera gloves as long boots on her webbed feet. It's all wrapped with a string of pearls that she almost certainly stole.
Very good. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't ask what Delia looks like.
Oh, that's all right. She is a black swan
Ooh, that's so good.
with this fabulous red beak, and she's I think she has stolen a human woman's eyelash extensions and have put them over her eyes, so she has wildly big eyelashes on a swan.
Very good.
Stole somebody's falsies. That's so good.
No wonder Silly Billy got so flustered by those eyelashes.
Yeah, you can't bat them at people. Those things are dangerous.
Oh, I've probably taken everyone here to Pound Town at one time or another.
Oh, Delia.
They don't call me Downeybottom for nothing.
Oh. Oh my God. Somewhere Silly Billy faints, even though he can't hear this conversation.
Have you ever been with a duck? They have a corkscrew penis. It's a wild time, let me tell you.
Brian's also ace and afraid.
Didn't expect an episode of Ace and Afraid on the Goose podcast? Silly you.
That was your mistake. Yeah, of course. If there's one thing geese
guys
are,
have fun.
it's horny. Actually, if there's one thing swans are, it's horny.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
So where do you guys want to go? What's your kind of plan of action here?
Part of me wants to infiltrate the humans and get a sense of what they're up to.
Yeah,
The boring convention?
I think we
Oh, yeah.
I think we might have to get a better sense of what's happening at the boring convention. Maybe we could go in there and listen in.
Ooh, can we steal a trench coat and then we can stack on top of each other?
Oh my God.
Ooh.
You're speaking my language.
I also want to pick up some freebies.
Yeah, maybe we could get a little squish ball or something and then we could throw it at somebody.
Or should we call them stuff we all nab? Some swans.
So you guys pick up a map of the convention and you see that hastily these there is a small kind of teenage goose intern who's just oh god, and he is hastily drawing a new map over the map on these nicely printed pamphlets and just cutting it in half essentially with a marker and writing boring on the left half
Devastating.
just oh, I got it.
Oh, no.
No, oh God. So you guys can see based on the map kind of where the front of boring versus silly has been formed in the middle of the convention floor.
Does it look like we have the better or worse half of the convention floor?
That's a great. Why don't you roll to see if you have the better or the worse half?
All right. Mixed results.
Mixed results. Success. The geese have the better half.
Haha, nice.
What makes it better?
Yeah.
It's the good part of the pond.
It's the good part of the pond. It's the part that feels good to walk on.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ice is thicker. Yeah. It's safer.
There's a little bit of a sewage drainage situation on the other side that the humans didn't know about. There's a dead rat over there.
Also, you get the view of the city or the view of the park, and this side gets the view of the park.
Yeah, there it is.
The view of the beheaded Bethesda fountain.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Great. So you guys sort of for the first time see the convention floor this year. And while, it's not in the convention halls of years past, it is still a hustle and bustle of hundreds of booths with silly advertising, silly burgers and silly clothes and all sorts of, you see all the brands, Honks Are Us, Goslings and Sons, Down to Get Silly. And you see
I just got that.
And you see that like the convention is starting to get going in earnest. People are filtering in, they've gotten their badges. Despite the half size, they're still making a good day out of it. You see that people are going to booths and their lines are forming. It's starting to get a little crowded because of the half space, but it's still, people are still having a good time.
All right. I think, TK, I kind of like your idea of going and checking out the tables. And then while we're doing that, one of us can kind of pace the dividing line and see if we can find a place to breach the entrance to the other convention.
Sounds like an idea.
All right.
I love looking for holes.
Dear God, Dame, we might have a problem.
My God.
What, sometimes a little single-minded.
The honking just doesn't stop with you.
Oh, you know.
Do you guys have like a thing? Should I go somewhere else or?
Delia, save it for later.
Downeybottom's a party and everyone's invited.
I'll pass.
Where are you guys headed? To a table?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go poke around the convention tables and just see. Like, we'll go check out some booths.
Yeah. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I think might be leaning toward checking out Silly Clothes.
Silly Clothes.
See if we can get some human-looking things so that we can infiltrate.
Why don't you roll for me? Give me a roll to find some silly clothes.
Ooh.
Lovely. Ooh, 466. I'm a little too silly about it.
All right, that is our
Shit.
first silly failure. So roll 3d6 again to get another silly tool. You get distracted
Ooh.
by a different booth, and we're going to find out what that is.
546.
Great. So
That doesn't count as another failure, does it?
no. This is just for creating
Okay.
your tool. So the brand is Down to Get Silly. The descriptor is big, needs 2 wings to hold and 3 to use. And it's another silly disguise tool.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Excellent.
Robin can't get out of disguises.
Honestly, I'm using my Hayden dice, which was probably a poor choice.
Yeah.
It's all just bleeding in.
What is the big
Oh my
disguise
gosh.
that you pick up?
Can it be one of those inflatable T-Rex outfits? So does not look like a human at all, but if we get inside of it, we can pretend we're a human inside of a dinosaur outfit.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So it would absolutely require both of my wings
It would
to
absolutely,
operate.
and probably another goose to operate for sure. So you're looking
my
for clothes,
God.
and you see that there's like a stretch of like exactly what you're looking for, like trench coats and human-sized dresses and like 3-piece suits, and then you get your eyes pulled by the inflatable T-Rex booth, and it's like have to have that. So Delia peels off from y'all for a couple seconds and then comes back with this inflatable T-Rex suit.
Isn't it fabulous?
Wow.
You're a genius.
I kind
Delia.
of want to take off my peacock and put it on the T-Rex. What are we thinking? Is this a good look? Is it a bad look?
It's perfect.
Excellent. I love it.
Just watch out for the knives because it might pierce the dinosaur.
Oh, I don't know that I can do too much about that. I'll do my best. You might have to put me in the middle.
I call the head. I just like get on top of Brian's shoulders, just like
Ow.
Does that make
Yeah, I think we
Delia
all pile
the
into this.
bottom?
Yeah, of course it does.
as always.
Must we even say it?
I gotta be honest, I'm really uncomfortable being in the middle of this.
The tension.
Join the program, Brian.
No.
I don't know. The view is great from up here.
Shut up, TK.
As Dame Delia Downeybottom is looking for a T-Rex costume, I think I'm gonna go to like a booth of stuff that makes like little lights and noises.
Okay.
And now that I have a security badge, look for some sort of portable siren and light setup that makes me look like a little like a little security officer, like
Fuck
a little
yeah.
wee woo.
Why don't you give me a roll? And for this, you can roll 4d6 since you're using the security badge. We'll say that's kind of replace your roll now that you're wanted at the convention.
Ooh, all right, that's mixed results, but only 1-4. Everything else, it's a 3-3-1 and a 4. So I'll toss the 1 and have 3-3-4.
Hell yeah. So describe what you find to make this happen.
Great. I think I find like a little toy sheriff's badge and a little cowboy hat and like little I think I think I find some like fun little lights and sounds at the booth, but instead steal a police siren from a Central Park like cop car.
Like a proper police siren.
Yeah, like an actual police siren.
You gotta be a beefy goose to get that off of there.
Or like at least the light. Like I'll take a light, and I think the siren might be built in, so I'll get a little siren from the little thing, and then I'll steal a little light off a cop car,
Nice.
and just kind of strap it to my back. So I've got little cowboy hat, sheriff's outfit, cop light, and like a little wee woo wee woo wee woo.
Very good. Very, very good. TK, is there anything you want to pick up before you guys put the T-Rex plan in motion?
I was kind of wondering if I could like check out the security of the human boring convention.
Yeah, why don't you give me a roll for that?
Sure. Boy, my character voice is bleeding into my actual voice now.
It's a struggle.
Uh-oh, that's a 1, and a 3.
Oh,
So that is a
no.
goose failure. Maybe their boringness rubs off on me.
Yeah. Is there any way you can use your guest honker roll here to add a die?
Oh my gosh. I can try and enlist the help of like the local staff and be like, I'm honking at this convention. Would you mind pointing me the way to the next door convention as well?
Perfect. Yeah, give me one more die, see if you can make it a success.
Oh boy. That is a 4.
Nice.
Oh, there it is. All right.
Squeaked on through.
Oh.
So you grab one of the sort of convention organizers and ask to be like directed to where the line is for the convention, where you're speaking, kind of thing. You get up on a little stage that they've set up, and you can get kind of a goose eye view of the of the boring convention, and you see that the boring convention isn't just humans. It's a variety of humans and also boring animals, and they all have various boring jobs.
Oh no.
Or serious jobs. They're not all necessarily boring. Boring and serious. Both enemies of silly. Just before people, when I start listing the jobs, claim that I'm calling their job boring, like, don't come at me for that. I'm so sorry. Boring and serious jobs.
And serious.
And you see that they have some very pedestrian sort of security, like the most expected con security that you can picture, like where it's like not cops, just kind of like a guy in a t-shirt that says security, and it's just one guy, and he's honestly just chatting.
We can work with this.
TK, what do you see? Is Judi Dench over there? I hate that woman.
Oh. Really?
Oh, is that not clear? I have a thing with Judi Dench.
We'll have to talk about that at some point.
What did she do to you?
I was up for the role in Shakespeare in Love. That Oscar should have been mine.
Oh yeah, you would have been way better. She really overacted.
Brian has strong opinions about Shakespeare in Love.
It was honestly like the whole movie was really good except for her. She kind of ruined it. It was really ham-handed.
Great. Are we activating the T-Rex?
Activate
Ooh.
T-Rex.
I think we have to, right?
Let's do it.
Sure.
I mean, Brian, if you want to stay out of the T-Rex and use your sheriff stuff, you can, and then TK and I can operate this monstrosity.
Honestly, anything to get me out of the middle of this situation.
I like emerge from the middle.
TK, did you saw a regular security guy?
Yes, it's just one.
Oh, nice. I could stab him.
Oh dear.
Okay, if I stab him and then just drag him under the table, there's no more security, right? We'll just be able to infiltrate.
Or maybe say that you are escorting a very serious T-Rex into the other convention.
Okay, now that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And if that doesn't work, I can hide under the tablecloth and then sort of like hamstring him. I could just slice him right at the ankles. He'll never walk again.
The hamstringing can be plan B.
I hope he's.
Oh, Brian, important question.
I hope he's not a marathon runner. Yeah, what's up?
Brian, do you still have the Bethesda head?
Oh, what do you? Why did you even ask? I pull it out of my ass.
Ooh, cavernous.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you still have the what?
The head of the
Head
Bethesda.
of the Bethesda
Oh. I was sitting here like, what is a Bethesda head? I have to know what this is.
No, the literal head from the Bethesda
The head of the
fountain.
Bethesda fountain.
Is it okay to have that? Do we need to roll for it?
Yeah, can I still have the head inside my ass?
It was part of your backstory. You can have it. You can have it in your ass. That's fine.
Okay, great.
I'm not gonna make you roll for pulling stuff out your ass. I believe in your ability to do that.
I feel like there's a lot of shit in there. There's a surprising amount of stuff in there. It's mostly the Bethesda fountain's head and some matches, but
I just like that your goose is like low key, like defying space and time at all times.
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
Pulling stuff out of your ass. Call it a Mary Poppins bag.
And that's why you're guest honker, TK. That's exactly why you're here.
Oh, thank you. I'll be here all week.
So you guys approach the border of the Silly Goose Convention, approaching the edge of the new advancements in the boring and the serious convention. And you see that at the front lines, so to speak, is where the tension has risen between, you see a number of silly geese, some clown geese, some geese that have big oversized hammers, and they're like
it's about to be like actually violent.
they're all just like arguing with like, there are some human pharmacists here who are wearing like lab coats and getting in the face of the geese and arguing with them. There are some hamster con organizers that are getting in the face of the goose, like, well, if we ran this con, this never would have happened. That's the hamster voice.
God, it's
Get back in your Kia Sorrento, you bitch.
And you guys move through this area of conflict. It's very good. And you approach. Yeah, right.
That really got me.
You approach this lone security guard who's chatting it up with one of the hamster con organizers who desperately doesn't want to be in this conversation. The hamster came to the boring convention, but still it looks like they're being bored by this security guard. And the security guard, as you approach, you hear he's just like, yeah, so last weekend I refloored the deck. And I washed my car.
That's bracing.
And the hamster looks like he wants to be anywhere other than this conversation.
God,
What do you guys
this
do?
is disgusting.
You are a T-Rex and a tiny sheriff.
Hey, Chad. I'm just assuming his name is Chad.
He turns and goes, yeah.
Excuse me, I am a very important attendee of this conference.
Where's your badge?
Oh no, I don't have my badge yet. It's me, Dame Judi Dench.
Oh,
Yes, I'm hiding in this T-Rex costume so that no one recognizes me until it's time for me to come out for my presentation.
wow. You know, I loved you in Shakespeare in Love.
Yes, I intentionally made a very boring performance, and that's how I got an Oscar.
And that's why you're at this convention. I totally
Yes,
get it.
yes, I'm
Totally
leading the
get
charge
it.
in boringness.
Yeah, yeah. Could you roll for me to lie to this guy?
Sure. Can I get my very important goose bonus?
Yeah, this feels like
Yeah.
very important goose type behavior.
5112.
So you squeaked in.
So right in the line there.
Yeah.
Almost too boring, but just silly enough.
Just
Just
silly
silly
enough.
enough.
Just a little bit.
And he's like, and is this your bodyguard?
Yeah, my name's Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's
Chad.
up? Hi, Chad. Yeah, I'm Judi Dench's. Those are some nice ankles you got there.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Be
you.
shame if something happened to him.
He looks down at his like shin-high boots and he's like, what a terrifying thing to say.
There's a knife in my mouth.
Only the best for Dame Judi Dench. I totally get it. The hamster has run away. You pulled his attention long enough that the hamster scurried away from this conversation.
Great.
Anyway, do you guys like carpentry? Do you want to talk about wood and...
I do love a nice big chunk of wood.
Me too. I like cedar and
Yeah.
palm and
Oh.
oak and
Tell me all about it.
maple and Birch.
This is all fascinating, but I do have to be presenting in 10 minutes.
Okay, carry on. I'm the only security
lovely.
guard here, so you guys should be good from here.
Oh, before I forget, you see that one little bit of ice over there that's very cracked and liable to, split open at any moment?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very good place for you to stand at this moment.
Can you roll for that?
Sure. I'm Judi Dench. I know exactly how to stand still and do nothing.
The shots.
1, 2, 5.
Excellent. He's like, yeah, I should stand on it so nobody else walks on it.
Exactly.
And he walks over and falls immediately through.
Incredible. Incredible.
He's gone. Fully gone.
God,
Nobody
that's
notices.
Security
Just gone.
dispatched.
Just.
You didn't want me to stab him, but that's cold.
4 little hamsters come scurrying out with caution tape and just like put caution tape around the hole that he fell in, but don't make any effort to save him. No. That's way too much excitement for this convention.
We're birds. We throw caution to the wind.
Oh.
There's a goose by the hole just playing the little penny whistle solo from My Heart Will Go On.
Now Celine Dion, there's a diva.
So you guys made it into the boring convention. What's your plan of action in here?
Do we get a sense for who's in charge? Like who's I'm thinking about how we could maybe ruin this.
How do we take this directly to the top?
Yeah, how do we really escalate?
To the top.
The fish rots from the head, as they say.
So you guys, let's say you guys find a schedule, right? You find a schedule of the lectures and demonstrations, and you see that in a couple hours they're having the big demonstration, the most boring thing yet. That's what the demonstration is called.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and it's a big surprise. Even though surprises are a little too exciting for this convention, this is a surprise.
It's like a mild surprise, like
Yeah.
huh.
It's on the main stage is where they say this event's going to be. They're going to be unveiling the best and brightest in boring and serious technology.
Wow.
But this is actually specifically a boring technology that they're releasing.
Well, we have to stop that.
We have to find the technology and make it as silly as possible.
Ooh, I was just thinking burn it, but that's great.
Ooh, fire's silly, right?
Yeah, fire's very. What if we make it really silly and then also light it on fire?
Ooh.
Yeah,
You're
that's
getting me
good.
fired up.
That's good.
You see that one of the pharmacists kind of in the area as you guys move through stops the T-Rex and is like, "Oh my God, are you the Trexacillin T-Rex? Can I get a picture?"
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
TK, it's down to you.
Yes, you may.
Your voice, it's so silly.
Thank you. I was born with it.
TK, shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, and a little sheriff.
Hi there.
Are you the Sheriffacillin sheriff?
Yes, I
Great.
am the sheriff.
And he puts himself in between the two of you and hands the phone to another pharmacist.
I give him bunny ears.
Say corporate profit.
I tie the pharmacist's shoelaces together.
Give me a roll for that.
114. Success.
Nice.
Little Miss Moffat.
Ooh, we want to make sure we get a really perfectly framed image. So why don't you back up towards that
Who was
cracked ice over there?
What happened to your other voice?
Oh, you told me it was too silly, so I decided to tone it down a bit.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you just back up a little bit? The lighting's
Okay,
better
yeah,
back there.
Back up towards that thin ice over there.
I'm backing up. Backing up. Backing up. Are you trying to get him to back up into the ice?
Well, no, his shoelaces are tied together.
Oh, right. He fucking falls. As soon as you say back up, he falls.
All right, take the picture in 1, 2, 3, and then we get him to back up, and he falls. for
And
the
then he
picture.
falls. It's a great picture of you guys on this guy's phone.
That'll be $374.
Okay. And then he pulls out his wallet, which is full of cash because he's a pharmacist or a pharmaceutical
Brian,
rep,
take it.
really, and gives you $347.
74.
God, that was like way easier than I thought it was going to be to just fleece that guy. I don't know what we're going to do with human dollars. Maybe we make like a little nest or something.
I start eating them.
Here you go, TK. A little snack.
As you're munching on the dollar, you realize that the event for the boring thing is a ticketed event. So you might want to hold on to a little bit of that money.
I start choking.
Just grab the bills from TK's mouth and start yanking them out of his throat. God, why are they so wet already?
I have a very moist mouth.
It's so damp. It was in there for like half a second. It didn't need to be that damp, TK. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why don't you hold on to these?
Okay. Just put 'em in my
Sometimes it's
pocket
good
for
to
now.
have a wet mouth, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
Oh. Delia, I was gonna say it's just the two of us in here.
The T-Rex just starts gyrating.
There's just like different shapes flying out of the T-Rex shape.
It's like the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
They're just fucking inside a T-Rex at this.
And the whole time is that dull whir of the like fan that keeps the T-Rex inflated.
I gotta get out of here.
Do you split off, Brian?
Well, I go steal the pharmacist's phone, and then I just kind of let them have
Wait.
their moment.
Roll to steal the pharmacist's phone.
Yeah, like if someone was just
You said
taking
it so nonchalantly, took me off guard.
You almost got away with it.
Yeah, it's a 553.
He's still trying to get his shoes untied. You tied some serious knots.
Oh yeah, that's double, triple knotted.
Double, triple.
I'm gonna steal the pharmacist's phone. I'm gonna go like maybe boss some kids around. Like if there's any kids here, I'm gonna really like act the security part and just kind of like try to herd some kids, like nip at their heels and stuff. Just wait for them to be done fucking. Really, I'm just killing time.
Oh, it won't take long.
Yeah, that's fine. It's usually pretty quick
Never
with you
does.
two.
Oh my god.
I just do some Ace Chaos shit.
You find the kid watch area, and you see that there is some human children, some hamster children, some sloth children. They're all hanging out with
Ooh.
just the beigest toys in the world. You know, Sad Beige Baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
I want to find the cutest, sweetest looking little kid.
Okay, roll for me. We're gonna see how cute the kid you find is.
That's a success. I find
Okay.
I want to find like a really sweet little beautiful little child.
You find a little angelic little baby sloth, and he's just moving really slow. These two like very beige blocks together.
Oh.
Oh, wow. That's a nice little activity.
Thanks.
Yeah, you having fun?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm really soft. Do you want to pet me?
My mom says I shouldn't talk to strangers.
That makes sense. You talk really slow. It's probably really boring for strangers.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not a stranger. My name's Brian.
My name's Penelope.
That's cool. I'm going to forget that in 20 minutes.
My God.
Okay.
I kind of cock my head and try to look like really cute and make myself look really like pettable.
Okay, roll to look pettable, you maniac with a knife and shit out your ass.
That's a fail.
Which way?
It's a goose fail.
Oh no.
Oh.
You turn your head to look scary, and the bow tie actually explodes and just makes you look insane.
Like I look so threatening.
Yeah. Like you turn your head and it goes, and then the thing goes, and you just look like you just triggered an explosion by turning your head. And this
no.
sloth goes.
Run, Brian, run!
Wait, oh my God, does that mean that
You lose your
that was my only tool?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
If it happens again with 0, then you get lost. But you still play with 0 tools. But if it happens, if you have another goose failure, then you become too boring and you just become part of this convention.
Oh, horrible. That cannot happen.
Brian gets silly immediately.
Okay. I
Gotta
think
get
Brian gets a little shaken by this. I think Brian had every intention of trying to get her to pet him and then just biting. Gets a little shaken by losing his bow tie. So I think I'm going to just take one of the blocks from the kid and just scamper away.
Yeah, you just hear this long, drawn-out sloth yell as you run away.
God damn it, took my bow tie.
You see two sloth parents are very slowly going over to check on their child, but it's taking them a while.
Oh, no.
I go over back to the T-Rex.
All right, are you guys done fucking?
The T-Rex unzips and steam comes out of it.
TK has a cigarette.
Just one wing slowly like dragging down the like misty viewport of the T-Rex costume.
Downeybottom pulls out a little notepad and marks yet another hash mark.
How many are on there?
You don't want to know.
This isn't the first notepad.
Ooh, golly.
We're gonna see what comes up here. You guys get surrounded by a group of worm mathematicians. I know how that sounds. And they all come up and they start like measuring the T-Rex suit, like they just want to do math around you. And
Just
so you're
like
sort of
for
in this
fun?
cloud of like 30 worms that are all wearing little glasses and doing math. And they're like, yeah, well, so if we do the, and there's SOHCAHTOA and the derivative and other math terms.
Ooh, little ones, very quickly. What is the best theorem? Go.
Well, of course, Pythagorean?
Oh, I really thought you'd all debate about it and get distracted.
Well, one says it, and then the others all be like, well, no, I don't know any other mathematical theorems offhand. So they all just start
Quadratic equation.
quadratic equation. No,
A third theorem.
the third theorem. They all start fist fighting. Fists? The worms?
Oh, their little heads.
Cool.
Hey,
Yeah, they all
they
just start
started fists.
slamming
Grow them.
into each other. Yeah, they just grow little fists through the power of math, and then start wailing on each other.
Actually, kind of silly.
Oh,
Hey, TK, you want to know a fun fact about birds?
always.
We eat worms.
Are you gonna eat the worms?
Lunchtime.
You guys want a snack?
I can't tell whether we should eat them or not.
Are you a vegetarian?
Yes.
He literally only eats human dollars.
I only eat greens.
TK, you're boring.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. That was really hurtful.
Start crying.
Oh, no.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. You're very silly. I didn't mean it. I just lost my weapon. I'm feeling a little emotional.
I feel like the worms are drawing attention to us, so I'm going to try and get them away from us. I'm going to be like, hey, what's that? And then, like, using my foul splot to just paint an entire, like, convention booth, like,
Yes.
people and all,
Hell yeah.
with some art and be like, oh, go mether that.
Roll that for me.
Mither.
Mether.
Mether. That is a 6, a 5, and a 1.
651.
Yeah.
That is a success. What color do you change the booth into?
Oh, I'm going to have it be all sorts of pastels. It is Easter colors up in here. There's some like pinks and purples and blues and like it looks like an Easter egg.
Very good. You blast this booth of goldfish pharmacists.
Boom.
Because goldfish are also boring. What these lists are just things I find boring. I hope you guys have understood that at this point.
That's
Yes.
really fun. Hamsters, goldfish, and sloths.
Hamsters, goldfish, sloths, humans. Oh, and also swan are on this list. So sorry, Delia.
Oh my god.
I just haven't rolled them yet. And then accountants, pharmacists, mathematicians, engineers, convention organizers, and crypto bros.
Oh, damn. Okay.
TK, it's beautiful. It reminds me of my time at Woodstock.
Oh, you and your wood.
You know me so well.
God damn it. Do I need to leave again?
We do have a refractory period. It's all right.
Are the goldfish in little tanks so it just completely
Yeah.
it blocks out their entire world?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The goldfish are in little tanks that they have like little robot bodies that they're operating.
Oh my god, like little mecha goldfish.
Yeah, little mecha goldfish. Selling pharmaceuticals. Right. They have the mechs, but they use them to sell pharmaceuticals, and that's what makes it boring.
That's actually so brutal.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They're on thin ice with the rest of the convention.
Yeah, the mech they when they applied last year, they were like, mech sounds kind of cool. And they were like, but we sell pills. Anyway, I don't have opinions about the pharmaceutical industry at all. So let's move on from that.
I don't think any of us do.
Hey, TK, you want to know another fun fact about birds?
Sure.
We eat fish.
Oh my god.
Brian, have you eaten any of these worms?
I'll pick off like one or two.
Okay, roll for me.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes.
It better be silly.
It's a success.
Success. You eat the weakest links of the mathematician worms.
They don't show their work.
The ones who can't think of a theorem. Yeah, the ones who are just like, I think Pythagoras is pretty cool, and you just
It gets like really kind of dark. Like
it's a little dark. We move down to the worm's perspective, and you become a Godzilla type figure. It's horrifying, really. The camera looks away for the actual eating.
You're a fucking kaiju to these guys.
and
You
I
like
kinda,
lean back and it's like the screech, like the Godzilla scream.
Yeah, I'll pick off one or two of the worms that look kind of weak, and I'll kind of make my way over to the fish table.
They were delicious. Are you going
For
to
a
eat a
second.
fish too?
If they get fresh.
You see the fish's mechs sort of take their little robot hands and wipe the paint off, and a goldfish just sort of leans forward in the bowl and says, "Hello,
Hey there.
would you like to hear about paperwork?
Oh, not even a little bit. We're just, I'm
Let
just
me
giving.
show you our newest prescription slips that
I
we
eat it.
just finished designing." Right, roll.
That's a success.
It's great. You dip your head into this bowl, and then the mech just topples over without a fish to operate it.
Great.
Oh my god.
Great. I put the mech in my ass and join the other two.
You put the mech in your ass. Okay, you gotta roll. You gotta roll to put the mech in your ass. I'm so sorry.
That's a success.
God damn it, Brian.
How many mechs can you house, Rowan?
At least
Brian
one.
becomes roughly mech shaped.
Yeah, Brian looks like a snake digesting a mech right now.
It's like in there sideways.
Brian just waddles back looking kind of sharp and goes,
All right, I got the fish out of the way. I think we can go check out the machine.
You see one of the other fish has wiped their tank and is just like weeping over the fallen. Oh no, the mech's gone. Doesn't know where their friend went. Doesn't know.
It's better this
I
way.
think I saw him over there. And
Oh.
as I look away, can I swipe just like a big old container full of pills?
Yeah, give me a roll to swipe some pills. That sounds like
Damn.
very important goose behavior to steal pills.
Great.
While they're doing that, could I steal some paperwork? Because I need ammunition for paper airplanes.
Yeah, roll for stealing as well.
Great.
That's a 6-5-4-3.
Do you want to goose fail or silly fail is the question. You can succeed or you can
pretty good.
fail on purpose to get a new tool.
I mean, Downeybottom is here to get as silly as possible. So let's let this be a fail. Get me a third item.
Great. Roll 3 more
Nice.
dice then for your new item.
1-1-3.
Ooh, okay. A honks are us. Another jury rigged and comes with a roll of duct tape. And this one makes silly attacks.
Silly attack.
Oh, that's good.
We're going on the offensive.
I think that I have this big old jar of pills, and I rip off chunks of the booth itself, duct tape it together, and make a slingshot of pills.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh, that's great.
Very good. Very
That's
good.
really, really good.
Yeah, you could really knock somebody out with these.
Amazing. TK, what did you roll to steal paperwork?
I rolled a 3, a 4, and a 5.
Oh, success.
I just take this huge stack of paperwork and I like stuff it under my coat so that I'm like roughly stack of paperwork shaped.
Great.
And just like I'll take a paper out occasionally and like fold it into a paper airplane.
That's
Nice.
so good.
And I'll start like stuffing them in the, well, I was gonna say in the brim of my hat. I put them in my coat pocket, just sticking out, just like ready to go whenever.
Ah, that's
Great.
nice.
Great. Nothing sillier than a paper
clever.
airplane.
You know what? I let one fly.
Nice. Do you have a goal for it?
Boy, I aim it at the most boring looking person at the nearby booth.
that's good.
Oh, excellent. You see that there's a swan, but a swan that has none the elegance of our dear Dame Delia. A swan that has a shirt on that says "Ask me about Bitcoin" and a backwards hat, and it's just kind of like leaning on his wings like they're his elbows, just desperately trying to talk to anybody who walks by about crypto.
Disgusting.
I want to try and land it like in his nostril, in his
Oh,
beak
hell
hole.
yeah. Okay, roll for me.
Okay. That is a 1, a 6, and a 4.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, very nice.
Is there a particular model paper airplane? I know there's a variety. Is there a particular model TK responds to?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's one of those elaborate ones. Like it's like 3 or 4 pieces of paper put together.
Yeah.
It flies all with itself. Like it's got multiple wings. So it is this big thing that's gonna
Yeah.
get him in the nose.
So you throw the equivalent of like a paper X-wing at this guy.
That's great.
It like does like a barrel roll on its way in, and then it just goes right into this swan's nostril on the beak, and he's like, and he sneezes, and it doesn't go out, and so then he goes like running away to try and get help, leaving all his crypto unguarded.
Oh God, you don't want to steal that unless you're gonna eat it. It's
You
not
don't
gonna
wanna
be
steal
worth
that,
anything.
yeah.
You don't want it unless you can eat it.
Oh my god. I run up to the crypto.
Great. He's got a big bucket of crypto back there. That's how I'm just choosing to describe it for the sake of this. I know that's not how it works. I just want
how it
anybody listening to
But he's
know.
got a bucket of crypto.
He's
yeah.
got a bucket of crypto.
There's literally worms growing fists getting into fist fights in this game. If you question a bucket of crypto, go home.
Yeah, you're not listening anymore if you would question a bucket of crypto.
I'm choosing to imagine crypto as like actual currency.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like roll it on the floor to like just 1,000 pennies spilling out
Yeah, that's really good.
onto the convention floor to see if anybody trips.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. You don't need to roll for that unless you want to. Are you wanting to roll?
I'm gonna roll for it because why not?
Let's see how effective. Let's see how effective it is.
It's a 5, a 3, and a 3.
Ooh,
Yeah.
rolling hot,
Nice.
TK. What is the result of this?
I think that the crypto gets everywhere that it can.
That's the thing about crypto. It moves.
It gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere.
God, you'll find it between your toes days later. Like it.
It's the glitter of the currency world.
You see it like rolling, and then it'll like stop, turn, and roll into like someone's purse.
Yeah.
I think it's getting everywhere it possibly can.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
that's
yes, feel the power.
You know, I know we don't like all these boring people, but the fact that they managed to create stairs at a pond is really impressive.
Yeah, there's a whole lower level to the boring convention that they've made of
Whoa.
ice. Yeah.
That's why we need this half of the convention floor back.
So there is crypto everywhere. There's crypto all over the damn place, and the chaos that you have wrought, I think, has pushed the border of silliness by a couple rows into the serious convention.
Yeah, you'll love
I
to
think
see it.
silliness is making progress
Nice.
in the Great
Very
War
nice.
that is happening.
Yeah, that's good.
So you guys have this, you know that this big speaking event is coming up. Is there anything you guys want to do before trying to crash, or you don't have to crash that? What's kind of your plan of action?
Oh, and we're
Oh, I
gonna
think we should
crash
find
it.
out where the boring invention is being stored.
Yeah, I think we want to get to the invention before the invention is unveiled and try to make the invention sillier.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You pull out your program again, and you see that the invention is being presented by Flying V Logistics.
Ooh.
which is that's a goose. That's a silly company. We don't want it to be a silly company. Don't do that.
No. No.
I was gonna say, is it the fucking swans?
Wait a minute.
Forget I said that. You will forget.
I will edit it out in post.
You will edit that out.
That might
Man.
need to stay in now.
I don't even. That's fine. You don't have to edit it out. Smith and Smith Holdings is presenting the big boring invention today. And you see that on the map, they've got like a big expo booth, sort of deeper in the boring convention, where they're showing off all the good boring stuff.
All right, once more into the breach, dear friends.
Let's go.
Are we in the T-Rex costume still, or are we just...
We gotta shed it, right?
Yeah, I think
we
so.
gotta-
It smells like sex now.
Sex and cigarettes.
We gotta air this out.
we're airing out the T-Rex costume.
Yeah, you can leave it to air out in the crypto booth.
Horrible. That's so unsettling.
God.
The crypto booth smells like sex for the first time.
But can we leave the fan running so that it's just like weirdly flopping around?
Yeah, it looks like it's manning the crypto booth.
Ooh, I got a little silly take here. I'm gonna
love a
take the
silly take.
T-Rex costume, even though it like
Say put it in
smells
your
like-
ass. Say put it in your ass. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm gonna
Continue.
put it in my ass. No, I'm still kind of processing how to get the mech to fit in there without being sharp. I'm gonna take the T-Rex costume and kind of tie it at the arms and legs while it's still kind of whirring from the air and make it into one of those like wacky inflatable tube men things.
Very good. Why don't you roll for me? See how that goes.
I'm hoping for a silly fail.
I'm hoping for a silly fail.
That's a silly fail.
Silly fail!
Yeah.
Nice.
right.
All right, roll 3 for your new tool.
All right. That is a 2, a 1, and a 5.
All right, Gosling and Sons. It's jury rigged, and it makes silly art.
I think kind of inspired by TK's beautiful artistry with both the fishbowl booth and the crypto. I think I have scooped maybe some crypto off of the floor, and I guess it's a fail to make the wave guy. So I think what I've done is taken the whirring little fan from the T-Rex and made a little crypto cannon that like kind of shoots out crypto in kind of artistic way and like does like a little splatter paint with
Yeah,
the
very
crypto.
good. Very good. You see that when you take the fan out, the wind catches the T-Rex and it sort of drifts up into the sky like a lost balloon. And you just see this wispy T-Rex that smells like sex fly into the sky.
I'll never
Above the
forget
convention.
you.
Beautiful.
We'll be reunited one day.
And then it gets hit by a duck. And that duck has a bad day. Anyway.
Is that Jerry?
So you've got a crypto shooting fan gun.
Like you do.
Yeah, like one does. TK's made a crypto spill. You guys are going to the, what did we call it? Smith and Smith Holdings?
Smith and Smith's Holdings, yeah.
Smith and Smith Holdings.
TK, how do you say the name of this company?
Smith and Smith.
Thank you.
I hate them equally. Holdings.
Ooh. If it's Maggie Smith, I'll be so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, she's a terrible actor, too.
Oh, no, she's great. I just don't want her to get boring.
Oh, that's actually really fair. Never
Oh,
mind.
I
that's
really
true.
only hate Judi Dench. It's very specific.
You either die silly or you live long enough to become boring.
You guys head to the Smith and Smith Holdings booth, and you see that this booth is like 4 booths in size, and you see that they've got a number of let's see what animals the Smiths and Holding people are. Humans.
Oh, shit.
It's kind of spooky, actually. They're all the same white dude in a suit, and there's
no.
like 10 of them.
Whoa.
Like almost like they have grown to look alike by working at Smith and Smith. That is like how boring they are. Like there's subtle differences if you look close, but at first you're just like, oh, this is the same guy. And they are just standing in perfect formation around this booth, talking to people about what's in these glass cases, which are a number of boring and serious inventions. And you see people are kind of gathered around having very boring, serious conversations with the Smith and Smith Smiths.
The Smith and Smith Smiths.
Mr.
from
Smith of Smith and
Smith's
Smith.
Holdings.
Yeah.
Oh, the Smith and Smith Smiths.
The Smith and Smith Smiths. Fun to say. boring to work there.
Ain't that just the way?
Yeah.
What are, like, I think my brain might explode if you tell me the answer to this, but like, what are some of the inventions?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Okay.
There is bureaucratic paperwork, Mark V. There is paint drying hypno goggles. There is the history of history. There's mansplaining 2.0. And then, of course, there is that story your grandma always tells about when you were little.
Wow.
And then the yet to be revealed invention is sort of what they're advertising around this booth. They're advertising the big event for their yet to be revealed boring invention.
Okay.
I would like to get out my Meryl Streep incorporated honk of a different color
Yes.
disguise kit
Yes.
and try to look like a smith.
Oh, very good. Roll.
Do my best approximation of a smith with just like Groucho Marx glasses and duct tape.
All right, roll for me.
422.
422.
Yeah.
You guys just hear like the craziest construction sounds, and there's like a little cloud of smoke as Dame Delia uses
Somehow I
this
have a
kit.
saw.
Yeah,
like a jackhammer.
Like hammer comes out. When the smoke clears, you look exactly like these Smith agents. It's uncanny, actually.
Wow, that's like really actually very impressive.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, how are we supposed to know which one's you so we don't kill you by accident?
Do you have like a feather you could put in your hat?
Darling, I have thousands.
So you pop a little feather to differentiate you?
Here, you can have one of my feathers. I'm molting.
Ooh, we should get that looked at.
No, it's just from putting the mech up my ass.
We should get that looked at.
I'm fine.
Have you seen a doctor?
Once, just passing.
Have you seen a doctor once?
It was really boring, so I just tied his shoelaces together and walked away.
So you've got a disguised Smith of your own, a Smith of your own. What is the plan of action?
Wow.
I got about as far as I can go. This is really all I have. Someone else come up with something.
That's pretty good.
Is there like a latch on any of these glass cases to where we could like open it and get inside?
Seems like from the back they can open it and like pull one out if someone wants to take a closer look.
Yeah, Can I
Okay.
try to steal keys from one of the smiths who has a key to like the glass cases?
Sure. We're gonna first you gotta sneak up to one of them successfully, I'd say.
Ooh, I have the perfect distraction.
Yeah.
I waddle up, or I attempt to walk as normally as possible, but it still comes out as a waddle.
The hips are
And I
swaying.
just kind of elbow my way in between two smiths and start humming the Macarena. No boring person can resist dancing to the Macarena.
It's actually so fair.
Honestly, roll 4 dice just because that's so fucking good.
4441.
Do you want to succeed?
I'm so torn because I really want to see all these people do the Macarena.
It's up to you. I cool either way.
Yeah, let's stick with it. Let's all do a dance.
Great.
Yeah.
You guys get ready to kind of take advantage of this distraction, and you watch Delia just march into this booth, stand, and then would you care to hum the Macarena, Delia?
Macarena.
And
These are words that I understand. Hey, Macarena. Hi.
the Smiths all simultaneously in perfect synchronization start doing the Macarena. Like, just like, it's like almost robotic, that their response to it.
And simultaneously all turn away from the glass cages.
Well, yeah, they have to line up. They actually walk out of the booth and form a 2-person line of 5, like 2 5-person lines, and just start doing the Macarena. And it starts playing from speakers somewhere.
You know, if you ever actually pay attention to the lyrics of this song, they're really quite upsetting.
That's true. So the booth is
no.
clear. Delia is leading a line dance of the Smiths. Not the Smiths, but the Smiths. What are our other 2 folks doing?
I'm going to try to steal keys to open these cases because it sounds like TK had an idea for the cases. And I think, can this be because my role is didn't pay to be here. So I think it's like rogue shit, right?
Yeah, or you can roll extra for rogue shit.
That's a success.
You waddle your way through this line of Macarena doing Smiths, and because the Macarena is not a very like intense dance, you don't have any fear of getting stepped on, and you can perfectly move to not be seen as they go through it. And you grab a little key ring off of one of the Smith's belts.
Very nice. Yeah, grab a little key ring, walk it back over to TK and go,
Okay, here's the keys, and I also got you a little dollar because you looked peckish.
Thank you.
Delia cannot resist going, peckish.
Oh.
So the Macarena continues. You probably have another couple rounds of the Macarena. You probably steal one invention.
Okay.
There's bureaucratic paperwork Mark V, paint drying hypno goggles, history of history, mansplaining 2.0, and that story your grandma likes to tell about when you were little.
Grandma's story might be good. Like, is there a switch on the back that can, like, change the settings?
For the grandma story?
Yeah.
So you look at the grandma story and it's like a tablet looking thing. And when you get close to it, you see that the screen starts to write a story that TK's particular grandma likes to tell.
oh, that's so specific.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I mean, is TK's grandma silly?
The silliest.
You have a silly grandma.
Where did the silliness come from? Yeah, I think I'm gonna hide behind the grandma silly story one. That way, it tells silly stories because TK's grandma was the silliest.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So what is the silly story that your grandma likes to tell about young TK?
Oh,
It's got to be the time that TK went over to his grandmother's all the time, and his grandmother came home one time to find that TK had eaten all of the ice cream in the house. And when he'd vomited it, she said that it was the nicest smelling mess she'd ever had to clean up.
oh, that's disgusting.
That is very good though. I
foul.
like that. What do you hope to have as an effect on this? And you can roll for whatever you're trying to do, but what's the effect you hope this has?
I hope to brighten people's day. I
God
hope
damn.
to make people a little less like, oh, it's the same old, same old. I hope to inject just a little bit of the random bombastic nature of life into the people who read.
Excellent. Okay, give me a roll for, and you can drop one of your choice.
I'm glad we rolled 4. That's a 1, 3, 3, 5. So let's drop one of the 3s.
Great.
1, 3, 5.
Great. So you succeed. You see that a couple of the Smiths, as they like finish off the Macarena, they come over and they see that like the grandma's story tablet is writing a new story, and they start reading it, and you see that these two Smiths, as they read it, they start kind of giggling to themselves, like they're just like and then they start laughing, and then they sort of laugh in kind of like a scary sort of uncontrollable way, and as they're doing it, they're like loosening their tie and undoing a button and messing up their own hair, and you just fully turn two of these Smiths silly.
Yes!
Yes, TK, hell yeah.
Silly Smith.
Silly Smiths. So they're having a good time now. They're silly.
Yes.
And you feel
Nice.
like maybe somewhere deeper in the convention, the border gets pushed a little bit further.
Nice, TK, holding the line.
Become silly. Join us. Okay.
Oh,
Great.
All right, I got one.
Yeah, hit me.
I'm gonna go break into the paint drying hypno goggles.
Great. I will say the Macarena's over, so you might have to roll. If you want to do this hiddenly, I would say you'd roll to steal it.
Okay, sure, I'll roll to steal it. Is that more rogue shit or no?
Yeah, it's more rogue shit. Yeah, why not?
Ooh, 6541.
Do you want to fail on purpose?
No, I don't think so. I'll succeed.
Okay, great. You open up this case and you see just like a very normal pair of glasses.
I think I'm gonna. I think after having stolen the pharmacist's phone, I've taken like silly little pictures of TK and Delia and myself just getting up to silly shit, like, you know, them in the T-Rex costume, like different stuff, fun shit, and tape the phone with like a slideshow of pictures over the glasses so that instead of the paint drying glasses, it becomes like a little slideshow of geese doing silly shit.
Excellent. I will do you one better. I'll say that you see that they have like a little port and you can change what's going on the screen. Like essentially what you get the image of is that these glasses just make you experience paint drying in like an instant, the boringness of paint drying. So you're uploading silliness.
Yeah, I'm uploading silliness directly to the glasses. Yeah, and then I'll take them so I can try to swap out somebody's glasses for them.
Dope. So you have now the we'll call them the silly spectacles.
Yeah.
To toss onto somebody when you need. Yes. Delia, you still smithing it up?
Ooh, well, now that the Macarena has ended, can I keep the party going and turn this Macarena into a conga line?
Yeah, the second most boring group dance, of course.
This is brutal.
You get a conga line. Well, roll for this conga line. Let's see how that goes.
Roll for conga.
To ease of transition from Macarena to conga.
The song is just you put the lime in the coconut.
653.
And drink it all up.
Excellent. You start leading a conga line of the Smiths. Meanwhile, the two goofy Smiths, in response to you singing, just start dancing like actually silly, and they're having a great time. Where are you leading the conga line?
Into the pond.
Can I just, like, lead them off the premises entirely? Just, like, conga out into oncoming traffic?
Yeah. Sure, why not?
And at some point, I'll just ditch them and let them continue their way out.
Conga into the sunset.
Move them into the road. Move them into the road, Delia.
So you're just sending the conga line off.
Yeah.
Great.
They're
great.
too boring to live.
Very good.
This is the only joy they'll ever experience.
Oh my
I'm trying to
god.
decide if you need to roll for this or if this is part of the conga success. I think for you to cut off without them noticing, I'd roll.
5, 2, 1.
Fuck yeah. If I may add a little flavor to this, I think that since you have 2 disguise kits, and you can still have them for function of play, but I think you just slip out of this Agent Smith disguise and it keeps moving at the head of the conga line.
And the dinosaur suit just has slowly drifted down to the ground and just falls on me as though it was planned from the beginning.
And then,
It doesn't function anymore because
Right.
the vent's been pulled out, but it's just like a loose, floppy T-Rex.
honestly,
Yeah.
it falls into a very elegant T-Rex patterned dress on you from the sky.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's also
Aw,
like
I
it's
love
kind of
that.
aired out, so it smells a little fresher now.
Smells a little fresher. Although it smells vaguely of duck penis. But you know.
Duck dick.
The duck it crashed into is still inside of it somehow.
Yeah. Great. So you guys have cleared out the Smiths, except for the 2 silly ones. You have some keys. You're still not sure where this big invention is, and we're getting up to like, I'd say that like they're about to do the big announcement event at the main stage, which is not far from this booth.
Well,
Okay.
it's probably backstage, right? Like they're probably keeping it backstage.
That's where everything boring is.
Yeah, it's always backstage. it might be right next to that. Look over there. There's like a like food cart with just glasses of milk that people are drinking, just whole milk.
That's so good. I'm so jealous that you came up with that. That's so fucking funny. That's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
No
there's just-
cookies, just milk.
No, there's just glasses of.
God.
It's all 2% too. It's not even whole milk. It's just glasses of 2% milk over there. I think it's probably behind that.
Yeah. You look behind this, and it's a tall booth of 2% milk because they need a lot of it for the convention. You know, like Wild Bill's at gaming convention?
Yeah.
It's that, but milk.
Oh.
Can they be stacked like fancy wine glasses, except for they're just glasses of milk?
Yes.
2%
Yes.
milk.
Yeah, like where you
Horrible.
pour from the top and it fills them down. Yeah.
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 Perfect.
Yes.
That's so good. A fountain of milk.
And you see people are starting to line up to get their milk for the big announcement. And on the other
Like
side of the milk booth
toasting
is
with
the stage. Yeah. Everybody's gonna toast their milk.
Oh no. I know exactly what to do now.
Oh,
Hit me.
Yes.
You two, go find
Yeah?
the machine. It's time for me to play a carnival game.
Do it.
And I pull out my slingshot and aim for just the right glass of milk.
Yeah. Roll. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
411.
Oh, woo!
Please describe this destruction that you wrought on the milk tower.
So I aim, and just to like psych myself up, I just start going doo 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 doo, and I let loose one of these pills, and it launches right through, hits one in the center, and it seems like nothing happened at first, just like ding, and then lands. Way too much time passes, and then suddenly they all explode forward, drenching the first 4 or 5 people in line.
Yeah, I'm gonna dramatize and say that you create like a small tidal wave of milk in this area that just like there's, and the crypto is everywhere still, and now there's milk in everything.
God.
Vitamin D's nuts.
Wow.
Honestly, people are just holding up their refillable souvenir mugs to try and catch some of it on the way by, but you've just created this soaking wet, and you guys start to hear in the distance a honk, honk, and you realize that the Silly Goose Convention is getting so close and so far into the Boring Convention that they're just a few short rows away from the Boring Convention's main stage. Your silliness has inspired them to push out the boringness even further.
Yes.
You guys go backstage.
Waddle backstage.
We
Just
are
waddle
all
backstage.
literally waddling. I know it's not coming up in the audio, but we have been waddling this whole
Visually,
game.
we're all just
Wiggling.
swinging.
You're all actually very good at the little shoulder move to indicate waddling. It's like I've got
There's
it
a-
every time.
There's a little hitch in Brian's step from the mech in his ass, but he's walking. He's waddling.
Brian, are you all right? That looks like a pain in the ass.
Oh, it's agony.
You seem a little butthurt.
You guys head
Dear God,
backstage.
TK, I can't compete with this.
I'm sorry, I'm cracking up.
Oh gosh.
Oh God.
Delia, do you join up with them?
Yes, I will. If for no other reason than to join in the puns.
Great. Great. You guys head backstage, and you see that in the center of the backstage area is something on a little wheelable platform with a big slate gray tarp over it. Nothing too exciting. A slate gray tarp, like a big reveal that's going to happen. And it's dark back here. They've created sort of a backstage structure where like you're not outside here. It's got that backstage feel, like you're somewhere you shouldn't be.
Oh, hey, TK, do you think you could just eat this tarp really quick so we can see what's underneath?
Well, hold on. I'm gonna snatch it off. I'm gonna like eat 2 little holes out of it and then throw it over myself like a ghost.
Yeah, roll for sure.
It's perfect.
Excuse me, goosed.
I'm so sorry, a goose. You're correct.
Boost! God damn it!
Wow,
So good.
that's a 1, a 6, and a 1.
Yeah,
That's how you
baby,
do it.
That
Fucking
is a
A, right.
success.
You pull this tarp off. Meanwhile, chomping 2 holes to get this perfect goose lay of the cloth on you. What you guys find underneath the tarp is a table, like a dining table, kind of laid out with candles and sort of nice plates and wine glasses. And you see at one end of the table is just sort of an average-looking dude who seems a little like, kind of like brain dead at the moment, and he has some elaborate mind control machine on his head. And at the other seat of the table, like on a date, you just hear, and you see Dame Judi Dench sitting at the end of this table.
You.
So you found me.
After all these years.
Delia, you were always a bitch.
What was it like filming Cats 2019, you whore?
Cats is a masterpiece.
I mean, it is if you're on edibles.
I don't touch the stuff. Anyway,
You wouldn't.
you're probably wondering why I'm here.
Yes.
It is a convention of the most boring people on earth.
That is
It tracks
exactly
that you would
right.
be here.
Young. Is there something in your ass?
I mean, yeah, it's like a little goldfish mech suit. Why?
No reason.
They're pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, don't you have a goldfish mech suit up your ass? It's better than the stick up
wishes.
yours, Judy.
That is pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, I work for Smith & Smith Holdings now, and I'm here to demonstrate their latest technology.
It's kind of weird that you've just been sitting under a tarp this whole time, though. I won't lie to you.
I was taking a short nap.
It just had you under there.
I will say, a little silly.
No,
this other-
no, I am not silly.
It's a little silly. It's a little silly. I knew
Don't
you
if
wouldn't
you
get
think
off
about
my
it.
Don't
ass.
call me silly.
Silly didn't.
She says, well, we might as well get the show started, and flicks a switch, and then the big curtains open, and you're all there.
Oh no.
And there's a bunch of people covered in milk, like, clapping. And then she hits a button, and the thing gets wheeled out in front of you, and then her and this guy are on a date. And she goes on to explain that I don't have a clever name for this piece of technology, and I'm so sorry for that.
That's
but
all right.
it is a helmet that makes it so that your date doesn't ask any questions about you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
That's
Yikes.
rough.
And so she starts to go through a demonstration of like when it's turned off, this guy is very nice and interested in her, and then when she turns it on, he only talks about himself. But you're welcome to interrupt this demonstration in any way you see fit as she gets going.
Oh, God.
I do have an idea, but it might just be too silly.
There's no such thing.
Impossible. Impossible.
Too silly.
I just want to like hold up my wings, channel my inner Catherine O'Hara, and just go, Deo! And just hope we could start into the dance number from Beetlejuice.
My God.
Wait.
We have the dining room table already.
I haven't seen Beetlejuice, and I'm so sorry for that. So I don't know the reference you're talking about, but you were trying to get Dame Judi Dench in on it, or try to get the crowd in on it? What's the vibe here?
If we can get the crowd in on it, that would be great. I'm assuming that Judi Dench is going to try and throw us off here.
Yeah.
But the whole premise of the scene in Beetlejuice is that people are being forced to dance when they don't want to.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we can force Judi Dench to get in on it, that would be fantastic.
I think Brian is going to take the task of trying to forcibly make Judi Dench dance.
if that's what you're doing.
All right, great.
I'm gonna try and free the hostage.
Try and free the hostage. Great. Okay, so in this order, I think we'll go Brian, Delia, and then TK.
Great.
So Brian, roll to. You're trying to do what to Dame Judi Dench to make her participate?
What's she wearing?
Well, what is she wearing?
Oh.
A lovely evening gown.
Perfect. You couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian is going to duck into Dame Judi Dench's evening gown and
And Goose her?
goose her and rifle around in there basically and just climb up her legs, bite her little armpits.
To get her dancing.
Yeah.
All right, roll for that. And that sounds like some rogue shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at this point I activate the like little police car sirens and everything. I start making noises in there.
Just start making noises.
Yeah.
She's going to love this episode.
Yeah, when she listens.
She listens.
Friend of the pod, Judi Dench.
Honestly, the best publicity you could get is a cease and desist from Dame Judi Dench.
Wait, a geese and desist?
Geese and desist.
Keith.
God damn it.
Yeah, I get up and kind of honk Judi Dench, and that's a 5, a 3, and a 1.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. We just see Brian scurry and disappear under Dame Judi Dench's dress. Delia, roll for and is the song Daylight? Is that the name of that song?
It's called Deo, parentheses, the Banana Boat song.
Ah, yes, Deo. So you will start your singing of Deo, parentheses, the Banana Boat song?
Yes.
Great, why not?
Great. That sounds like some very important goose type shit, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
5, 3, 3, 1.
Hey, there it is.
Damn.
That's all that we can sing.
And then you hear that call and response sort of start to get responses from the two silly Smiths that are out in the crowd covered in milk.
Yes.
Nice.
And they sort of
There it
start
is.
to get the crowd going. TK, what are you doing again? Oh, you're freeing the hostage.
I am. I've like nestled on top of his head and am like plucking at wires in the brain drain thing, trying to rewire it to do something silly.
Excellent.
Ooh,
I
nice.
don't have the technical wherewithal to know for sure what it's going
But
to
you
do.
have the power of silliness on your side.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
So you're not you're not freeing the hostage. You're just making him do something different.
A silly hostage
I'm
is better than
freeing
a
him
serious hostage.
You're so right.
I'm freeing
actually.
him from boredom
Yeah. All right.
You're
give me-
ratatouilleing him.
and
me a
giving him the
roll.
life silly. That is a 6, a 4, and a 1.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
So, a lot happens all at once.
Okay.
Delia lets out, "Hey-o." The Smiths, the silly Smiths in the crowd start responding and getting these milk-covered hamsters and worms and humans and swans and all going. People are knocking crypto out of their ears. Brian dives into Dame Judi Dench's dress while TK finishes tinkering with this guy's head, and Dame Judi Dench and this guy get up and end up in a sort of like tango style, very silly tango style dance together. The combination of being chomped by Brian and the programming TK has done has perfectly lined up their dance moves to be, honestly, they look great.
Wow.
You know, I hate the woman, but damn, can that dame dance?
It's so sensual.
If it makes you feel better, it's all me.
You know, it does. It really does.
I make her dip the hostage. Like
She dips the hostage and when that
fall
song
off.
that song ends and everybody in the crowd has sort of started to sway a little bit, and then you hear just like the flapping of small webbed feet, and all of the silly gooses come rushing into this area and like lifting up all the boring people onto the stage, and then another song begins and it just turns into a very silly party atop the main stage. And nobody even remembers what that other boring convention was called, because this is the Silly Goose Convention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks so much for playing. That is all for this story of the Silly Geese.
That was fantastic,
That
Elliot.
was
Thank you
Thank
for
you
putting that
so
together.
much.
fun and
Absolutely. I'm
silly.
so glad. I'm so glad you guys had fun.
Oh my gosh.
God, that was a great time.
Why don't you take a moment to tell us about your little Kickstarter that you've got going?
For sure. And thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
It was so good to have you.
Rom-Com Drama Bomb is a 3-player asymmetric GM-less game in which you play 2 people who shouldn't fall in love and the evil villain who will stop at nothing to make sure they do. It is a very wild game. It is crowdfunding until the 28th of February, starting on the 14th, and you can check it out at the link in the bio. Support the game, help make it happen. There's a lot of fun goodies on the Kickstarter. Also, go pick up Something's Wrong with the Chickens, which is what this game is based off of, and that's free.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And just a heads up for our patrons, Elliot has very generously offered to give our patrons access to the PDF for this game. So if you want to play this game at home and you are on our Patreon, you can pop on over to the Patreon. You'll find the link for the PDF and you will be able to play it right away. But definitely still give Elliot's Kickstarter some support. We're really super excited for you and can't wait to play Rom-Com Drama Bomb as well.
Sounds like a blast.
And Elliot, if people wanted to find you online, should you wish to be found, what are your various socials?
I wish to be found sometimes. I am at More Bloobs on Twitter. That is MoreBluebs. And then I am More Blueberries pretty much everywhere else. Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr. And also you can hear me on My First Dungeon and Talk at the Table. So check those out.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
those are great
absolutely
shows too.
check those out. They are fantastic.
Anything else you want to plug before we wrap this one up?
No, just this was so much fun. Thank you guys.
Yeah, this is a
Oh,
treat.
thank you for having. Well, I guess thank you for
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank us so much for having. God, we're so brilliant to have you on the
Thank
show.
us for having you.
We're actually so smart that we brought you here today.
Thank us for having you. Thank us for having
God, we're so good at this. We're the best. God, we're good. You should really subscribe to us on Patreon, so you should see more of Elliot's stuff.
We love a chaotic outro.
Thanks so much for listening to Welcome to the Silly Goose Convention. Special thanks once again to our lovely guest GM, Elliot Davis. If you want to see more of his games, go over to moreblueberries.com. And if you want to hear him talk on more podcasts, go to manysidedmedia.com. Oh, and also, if you want to get in on his Kickstarter, it's running through February 28th. You can grab that rom-com drama bomb and join in the fun for yourself. Do you want to hear us talk more about our show? Go to www.patreon.com/magehandhighfive and join in on the down low. We are having all sorts of oodles of silly times. Thanks to Jacob Kersner for our orchestrations and to me and Elliot Davis for our logo and cover art for this episode. Check out our website at www.magehandhighfive.com and look for us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Discord, and wherever we may be at MageHandHighFive. Go to your podcatcher of choice and throw a 5-star review our way. I promise I will duck. Get it? And here's a special tribute to all of our supporters on Patreon. We have Al Forrestoki, Allison DeVelvis, A.M. Lovelies, Avery Spar, Carrie Lee, Chicken Too Tasty, Das Carpenter, Diana Bacon, Imp Games, Jonathan Gunn, Julata Pang, Chloe Utley, Laura, El DeSol, Liz Spar, Michael Clevenger, Mira the Nerd, Sammy Richardson, and Tyler Gardner. Thank you, all of you. You are the best people in the world. Tell your friends about us. Tell your foes about us. Tell a goose about us if, you've made peace with your life and are ready for it to end. And when you do it, use the hashtag MHH5. And hey, how about a high five?